In this particular case, white is representing 100% subsurface scattering and black is representing 0 subsurface scattering. Now we don't want it to be as harsh as this, so we're just going to apply a blur on this particular level here, this layer. So we're going to select filter and we're going to apply a blur. We just control this just to soften it a little bit on the edges there. Perfect. So this is going to be our map for that. We'll just save that out as our subsurface scattering map. So for the next map, it's going to be quite simple. We're going to select the lower layer and we're going to create a gradient. We want the radial gradient as before. Apart from we want to go from a light grey to a black. Click from the center and drag out. Now we want this other piece here, this center piece here, to be white. So you can guess how easy this is going to be to actually apply this white. We can either fill it or just paint it in. This particular case, fill is the easier option here. And we just need to maybe just blur off this a little bit here. So we're going to go to filter, blur, and we will just control this like that. So what we've got now is we've got a map so that in the center we've got the full reflection amount and it kind of goes out and gradually falls off as we get outwards. So there's going to be some reflection on the outer part of the eye, but it's not going to be too much compared with the center. Again, we're going to save this out, and I'm always saving out the PSD file, the layer file, as well as a JPEG version of this. So once you save this out, we're going to go back into Modo, apply these and create the relevant materials for the eye. So now we're back into Modo again. We're just going to simply apply these textures. Now the first texture I'm going to be applying is to the inner eye, and I've got the outer eye hidden at the moment. So I'm going to select this inner eye. I'm just going to make a material for this. So M for material, inner eye, and while we're at it, we'll select the outer one. I'll make a material for that as well. So with the inner eye selected in items mode, I'm going to drag and drop from the folder outside Modo the relevant maps. So I'm going to be just dragging this, just finding this now, and our subsurface scattering map as well. And then we're going to select the outer eye and then drag and drop our reflect map onto this. Great stuff. Now we can just go to our shader tree now and see what we've got. We're going to go to the render room. By default, you'll find that what gets automatically applied is diffuse color to these actual maps, and we don't necessarily want diffuse color to all of them. So let's just expand this for the outer eye here. We can see the reflect is controlling for diffuse color. We need to right click on this, and you just can't see this here, but yes you can. Reflection amount there, and it's going to control how much reflection that we've actually got. It won't be totally apparent until we've actually got the transparency and a HDR image actually loaded. So I'm going to just select one of these preset HDR images in Modo. It gives us an environment that we can actually view. And all we need to do from this stage is just adjust the actual low value. So we've got this eye selected here for the actual reflection, and you can see in the texture layer that we've got the low and high value. And this is where we're going to be adjusting the low value. And as we take this down, you notice that the reflection starts to fall off. Now, not to say that we don't want no reflection at all, we just need to control the high and low values so we got a mixture between the two. And just after a little bit of tweaking here, we didn't have to do too much. I've got roughly the right value that I want there. Now I'm just going to select this material for this outer layer and go to the actual diffuse amount and take it down to 0. And then we're going to go to the actual, where are we, the roughness value. We take this down to roughly around about 3, or a low value in which we can get a nice specular hotspot. You can just adjust this till you feel you've got what you want. We can conserve energy and then turn down the overall specular amount there. It makes it a little bit easier to set this up right now. A tiny little bit of finale there. Now I'm going to go to the material transparency layer, or shall I say the material part where we actually apply the transparency, and we're just going to put in 100% here. That's good. Now let's just turn on this inner layer, shall we? Now we're going to expand the inner layer shader in the shader tree here, and you see this got this subsurface scattering set to diffuse at the moment. Well, we want it set to subsurface scattering amount, so we're going to select that. It's just off there, just off the screen. Now we're going to go back to this outer layer again. And when you go to the side, you notice that you can not see any bulge there at all. It's very, very hard to see. This is because we haven't got the refraction set up yet. So we're going to set this up now and just expand this so you can see this a bit more better. The refraction index we're going to start to take up, and you can start to see the effect that it has.